Most young children love to explore and discover things for themselves. It is exciting to explore a cave or a forest. But can you imagine how exciting it must have been for the explorers, who many years ago set sail and hoped to discover new land? One of the most famous explorers was Christopher Columbus, who set sail in August 1492 and discovered the Bahama Islands off the coast of America. Christopher Columbus was an expert seaman, but he was poor and he could not buy his own ship. His king, the King of Portugal, refused to supply him with ships. But the King of Spain gave him 3 ships and supplies for his voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. The ships were called the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria. And it was in the Santa Maria that Columbus sailed. On September 6, 1492, Columbus left the Canary Islands and began to sail westward across the Atlantic Ocean. Very few sailors before this had sailed away from the coast without knowing if they would ever reach land across the sea. After sailing steadily in their 3-masted ships, the sailors began to fear that they would never be able to reach home again. Several times the lookout shouted land, but each time it proved to be a false cry and the crews became more and more restless. On October 10, 1492, the sailors were ready to rise against Columbus and force him to turn back. Columbus promised that he would turn back if they did not sight land within 3 days. The next day the men saw a leafy branch with flowers on it. The day after, a cry of land was heard, and this time it proved to be true. Columbus landed on the island, which he named San Salvador. After having sailed westward for 32 days,